How's it going? This is Hoiman, and today we're taking a look at the S.H.Figuarts Shinkocchou Kamen Wizard figure. So this is the front of the packaging. It's very similar to a phone, so the feel of it is very soft and gentle to the touch. And if you own a mobile phone and you've opened one of their boxes, then I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But this is the front of the packaging. It's got a nice illustration of the figure itself, of a nice portrait, and then down here we have the Bandai logos and some Japanese legal stuff. Moving on to the side, we have the name of the character, and it's in a nice silver metallic font, and it's also embossed, so there's some texturing to it. Same for the other side, and then in the top we have the Figuarts logo. Same for the bottom. And then on the back we have some nice pictures of the figure itself and what it comes with. And then at the bottom we have some more Japanese legal stuff. And to open the figure, like a phone, you just slide the front of the box off. Like so. And then first off, you're greeted with some instructions which tells you what the figure comes with and how to operate the accessories. Pretty self-explanatory. Now we have the actual figure itself still in its packaging, and it simply just slides out like so. And then you also have the instructions behind as well. And like I already said, it's very similar to a phone's packaging. And then to take the figure out, you just simply lift off the front cover, and there is the figure itself. So here we have the figure out of packaging, and I must say it's a very nice figure. It's very well sculpted. And the Shinkocchou line is more of a premium line for the Figuarts figures, which means the figures are much more show accurate and come with more high quality engineering in its articulation and function. So taking a look at the face. Very well sculpted, looks exactly like it does in the show. So the front we have this nice transparent red, and you can see some shape and features in there as well. And then we just have some silver lines as well to make the eyes, and the silver is a very nice metallic silver. And then for the forehead we have a translucent yellow piece as well, which really adds to the finish. And on the side we have some symbols for the ears. Again, it's just very well detailed. Just very high quality overall. And all the black on the figure itself is of a matte finish, so it really stands really well in contrast to the metallic silver and the transparent red. And moving on to the torso, each of these red gems are translucent plastic, so it really adds some shine and detail to it. And then for the middle part, it's a metallic red. And then the nice silver wraps around to the shoulder, and then there's a nice symbol there. It's just very clean, no flaws at all. And that wraps all the way to the back with some nice sculpting. And then we move on to the belt. Looks exactly like it does in the show, just very detailed, and for the most part it's fully functioning as well, and I'll get to that in a bit. And then moving down to the rings that he carries, each one is individually sculpted. It looks just like how they did in the show, and each one is also translucent as well. Very nice. And then the belt is also sculpted. very show accurate. And then the cuffs are also metallic red with the nice silver around. And then to the ring itself, it's also translucent. Same for the other side. It's very nice. And then moving on to the legs. They're quite a simple sculpt, but that's just how it looks in the show. But it's still very well sculpted. You can see all the creases in the clothing, and then down you have the more armored sort of shins. And then down to the ankles, again with this metallic red and silver. And then down to the shoes, again you have that nice silver. And then the bottom as well. Very well detailed. And then of course you have the robe itself. Looks very nice. Very metallic red and then a matte black. And you got the metallic silver that wraps around. Just overall a very, very nice figure. So for articulation, the head is on a double ball joint, one at the bottom, one at the top. So you can look down that much, which is quite a bit. You can look up about that much, but it's limited due to the collar. You can tilt his head side to side and also twist. But again, due to the collar, he does get a bit restricted when turning the head left or right. But you can get a bit more if you put his chin over the collar. For the torso, there's a ball joint in the abdomen and one at the waist. So you can bend about that much and bend back that much, which is quite a bit. And you can see how the sculpt carries on even when it's fully articulated. And these parts here are on ball joints as well, so they can move slightly just to add a bit more to articulation. And you can twist side to side as well and also swivel, but it is a bit restricted due to these bits. But for the most part, you should be fine. For the shoulder pad itself is on a hinge and it's connected by a ball joint. So you can move that around however you want to get out of the way to move the arm out. And the shoulder itself is on a ball joint that has a floating piece cupped around the joint. So you can really move that shoulder around. You can really move it up about that much, which is more than enough. And then bring the arm forward and back. And then there's also a swivel at the bicep. And then double jointed elbows. A lot of range of motion. And then the hand is on a ball joint as well, so you can move that around however you want. Before I mentioned that the belt is pretty much functional, so you can move the hand, so you can twist the hand like that, so you can get the right hand and the left hand. And then the triggers here can also move as well, just like it does in the show. For the legs, we have the newer style of Figuarts hip joint, so it's not the pull down method, but you can still get quite a lot of range of motion. So it's basically on a hinge. So you can bring his legs out that much, which is a lot. Bring it forward this much. Bring it forward, bring it back that much, which is a lot as well. And then there's a swivel as well, so you can move out his leg, twist it. And he's got a double jointed knee as well. A lot of range of motion. And then the ankle is on a hinge as well, so you can move it forward about that much. But due to the this piece, it does hinder it a bit. But you can move this part up a bit to get a bit more movement. And that's the same going back as well. And then you can pivot as well, swivel, and also toe hinge. And the way it's sculpted is curved as well, so it looks quite natural still, even when you bend the toes. And then finally we come to the cape, which is actually a softer material, and it actually has a wire that goes through around basically where the silver is. So it wraps all the way around, so you can really bend it however you want and it will retain its shape. So this is good for a lot of dynamic sort of poses, and it's also quite a signature part of this character's design. So yep, that's the figure itself. Let's take a look at the accessories. So for accessories, the figure comes with these two relaxed open hands which come default on the figure in the packaging. Look very nice. And then we have a right fist for the right hand, and then also a gun holding hand for the right. Then we have two sword holding hands, two open hands for displaying, two chopping hands, two more widespread open hands, the weapon itself, and this part of the hand can open as well, like so, how it does in the show. And it's very well sculpted, very well detailed. The black on here is actually glossy, so it really stands out. And then the piece inside the handle is actually transparent as well, which is just more attention to detail. And then this comes with the attachment for the gun. There's nice silver with metallic red, and then this part is transparent as well. And this simply just attaches in like so. Just plug it in, and there you go, you have the gun form. And then it also comes with the interchangeable part to make it into a sword. Again, you have the nice translucent parts in the middle, and then it's very well sculpted as well. And to do that, you just simply pull out the gun part out, and then just simply attach the sword. Like so. Looks very nice. And then finally he comes with this stand which holds all his rings. So when you first get the figure out of the packaging, these rings and all these actually come on this, and you have to put them in yourself. And for this, it can go either two ways. It's more accurate to the show, yes, but at the same time, for the figure itself, it can be a bit obnoxious, because every time you swap out the hands, you have to remove these rings and then attach it to a new hand, which you can see where the hole is for. And because these rings are very small, they're very easy to lose, and sometimes they can be quite hard to attach to the hand as well, so that can be a bit tedious when swapping out hands. But for the most part, say you should be alright, as long as you just be careful of the figure, really. So my final thoughts are, if you're a huge fan of this character or you like the show, then I highly recommend getting this figure. There is a standard version of this figure in the S.H.Figuarts line, but like I already said, the Shinkocchou line is much more show accurate, therefore it comes with a more steeper price tag, but I'd say it's definitely worth the price if you're after a much more show accurate representation of this character. And I mean, just this alone with the cape is just really fun to pose around, and you can get some really dynamic shots. But yeah, just to let you know that if you do go for the Shinkocchou line, then be prepared to pay for quite a steep price. But if you're a fan of this character and the show, then I'd say it's definitely worth it. So that's my review of this figure. Thank you for watching, and enjoy some pictures.